Alright, so in this particular section of chapter 7, we are moving away from area and we're going to talk about the Pythagorean theorem, which allows us to find the lengths of sides of right triangles. So we have used this in physical science already this year, so hopefully this is fairly familiar to you guys. So remember that when we have a right triangle, right, the two sides that make up the right angle are called the legs. And then the side that is opposite the right angle is always called the hypotenuse. So for our Pythagorean theorem, A and B are always our legs, and C will always be the hypotenuse. And so remember that formula is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, so then let's go ahead and apply that to a couple of examples. All right, so in this example, we have our two legs, which are A and B, so it's 6 and 8. It does not matter which one is A, which one is B, it's whatever you choose. The only thing that matters is that C is your hypotenuse and it's on the right side of the equation by itself. So let's go ahead and plug these numbers in. So we will have 6 squared plus 8 squared is equal to C squared. So remember, when we square a number, we're multiplying it by itself. So we have 6 times 6 to get 36, 8 times 8 to get 64, and that's going to be equal to C squared. So then we'll go ahead and add our 36 and 64, which gives us 100. Now we have to get C by itself, so we have to get rid of that squared. So we need to take the square root of both sides. So that means C will be equal to 10. All right, and as we do some of these practice problems later this week, there's going to be times that it doesn't work out evenly, so you would just leave your answer as like the square root of whatever. I'm not worried about getting a decimal. All right, and sometimes when we are solving for particular parts of right triangles, actually, let's draw our triangle a little bit differently, because they're not always going to be the same direction. So sometimes we will have to solve for one of the legs. So let's say that we have one leg in the hypotenuse and we have to find the other leg. So we have a squared, which we don't know. So let's just actually write our formula out. So let's say a squared plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. So 3 squared is 9. And 5 squared is 25. So we need to get a squared by itself, so we're going to subtract that 9 from both sides. Right, so then we get a squared equals 25 minus 9, which is 16. And then we will take the square root of both sides to get a equals 4. Okay, and let's go ahead and do one more example where we're going to have to find a hypotenuse, but we're not going to be able to evenly take the square root, so I can show you exactly what that will look like. So again, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we will have 6 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared. So 36 plus 49 is equal to c squared. So then when we add our 36 and 49, we get 85. So again, we can't evenly take the square root of 85, so we will just leave our answer as c is equal to the square root of 85. I want you guys to leave your answers like this instead of getting them as a decimal because they are more exact in this format. Okay, so hopefully this seems fairly familiar to you guys. Like I said, we have done this in physical science already this year, towards the beginning when we talked about displacement, so hopefully this is just a good review. There is no assignment with this today. We will work on that together on Friday, because tomorrow we will, during geometry class, we will be working with the BJU math team that will be here. So I hope you guys are enjoying your other snow day and stay safe outside.